Hi everyone, this is Pam from Just Dreamin' Stamps, and today I would like to show you how to make this twist card. And it looks like possibly, there we go. But the image is going the wrong way. So I'm going to try to turn my phone around, hopefully, and make it so that you can see it. Without having to lay on your side. So let's give it a chance to... Oh, and look at, you can see my messy desk. That's not good. Without having to lay on your side. So let's give it a chance to... Oh, look at, you can see my messy desk. All right, I'm trying to make a couple adjustments here and then we'll get started. I still need to fix so you're not seeing my messy desk. Let's see if that's gonna work. There's quite a delay on my end. All right, well, you're just gonna have to enjoy the mess. So let's get started. So this card is a really fun card, and when you look at it you'll think, though, boy, that's going to be hard to make, and in reality it's going to be really easy. So when you open it, it looks like this. So I'm waiting for my iPad, I'm sorry, to catch up to make sure that you guys can see what this looks like, and then I'm not gonna mess around watching that anymore. So all right, so what you need to make this card, isn't that fun? And then when you close it up, yeah, well, always when you're on camera. There we go. When you close it up, it closes up just like that. So to make this card, what you're going to need is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. You're going to want to make a card base from that that's 5.5 by 8.5, and then you want to score it at 4 1/4. And then you're going to need 3 pieces of designer series paper that are cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then you're going to need another piece of paper that is cut to 9.5 by 3 3/4. And that would be this one here. And you want to score it at 2 3/8, 4 3/4, and 7 1/8. And then you'll need to cut 4 pieces of designer series paper that are 4 1/4 by 3 5/8. And then the last thing that you're going to need to do is cut a piece of cardstock that is 8 inches by 3.5 inches, and then you want to score it going the long way at 4, and then on the short side you want to score it at 1 3/4, and then you want to put a notch, just a little tick mark, at 2 1/4 and 5 3/4, and then turn it around and do 2 3/4 and 5 3/4. So let's get started. So the first thing that we're going to do, this is the twist mechanism. So the first thing that we're going to do is, and oh, I forgot to tell you, I will have all of these measurements on my blog at justdreaminstamps.blogspot.com, and I'll also put the description in the, or put the measurements in the description of this video, with the caveat that is if I can figure it out. There will be a description. Otherwise, go to my blog, Just Dreamin' Stamps, at justdreaminstamps.blogspot.com. Okay, so you're going to need a ruler and a bone folder or something to score. And so on the piece that I said was the twist mechanism, which is the 8" by 3½ inch, you want to go to the 2 1/4 tick mark, or the notch, or whatever you want to call it, down to the 5 3/4 mark, and just draw a line, score it. And then do the same thing on the other side and get that scored. Next, what you want to do is you want to fold it over like this, and then straighten it out. Fold it over like this, straighten it out, and then fold the lengthwise down and fold it in half. And then when you want to tuck all those in and make it look like this. So this is what the end product should look like. So let me show you again. So you want to fold this one in, and then you want to tuck those in like this and pinch it. So you'll have a triangle here that you can stick your finger in, and when you flip it over, you got a triangle here that you can stick your finger in. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I have gone ahead and already put, just for time's sake, because I'm sure you guys know how to glue DSP or paper onto cardstock. And so I've gone ahead and already decorated the front and the inside of the card, so it's basically all ready to go. And the next step, you'll want to take some kind of marker and measure and use your ruler and find the center point. So if you've made this card the 8½ by 5½, or 8½ by 5½, you want it to be a horizontal card. Find the center, which will be, the center mark is at 2 3/4. So make a nice dark mark right there so that you can see, that mark. Don't worry, because that mark will be hidden, and so it shouldn't be a problem. So the next thing that you want to do, make sure that you've put your cardstock on the front and back of the inside, and then also on the front, I guess top and bottom of the inside and front panel. And then with your longer, your 9½ by 3 3/4 piece that you've scored at 2 3/8, 4 3/4, and 7 1/8, you'll make sure that you score those lines, and then you want to fold it so that you've got a valley, a peak, and a valley. And so you'll make a nice little book like this is what it should look like. And I have already gone ahead and colored or put my design on the inside. Like I said, I went ahead and did this ahead of time to save time, so you don't have to watch me gluing everything on. So we make sure that it's folded like this. And the next step that we'll do, making sure that you've got this opening here in the card, and that this is open here. When you flip it over, this is open here. This is really important that you do it this way. So you want to add some snail to this thing with the triangle. You want to go up about 1 inch and add your snail on the side facing you. make sure that this panel is folded like this so that you got a peak, a valley, a peak, and a valley. And those two valleys, so you'll want to stick it in between the two. Hopefully you can see this okay. Stick it in between. If you can hear my dogs, I'm sorry. Stick it in between that slot. Check and make sure that your design is going in the correct direction, and it will go in the correct direction if you have the two folded edges up against the triangle, and attach that on. So now it's stuck to this one mechanism. Turn your card over. Make sure that you have this spot here so that you can stick your finger into it. Pull this back a little bit. And once again, you can see it's gone through that slit. Put some, I guess we call this stampin seal now and not snail, sorry. Anyway, so put some stampin seal or adhesive onto the back flap, and making sure that you're up against the triangle. Put it on. So now it should look like this. So you should have a loose flap here, and when you flip it over, a loose flap here. You should still be able to get your fingers in that little triangle opening. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to put adhesive on. Make sure this is going right. So you want to make sure that your direction of your inside is pointing to the right. Make sure that you've got a loose flap here and that you can still stick your finger in that triangle. Go ahead and put adhesive on the triangle. Take your card base and line up the point of your card of the triangle right here with that dot you made. Check again to make sure that the design is going to the right on the inside of your card, pointed to the right. Make sure it's straight along the bottom, down here on the bottom of your card, and close it. Turn your card over so that you've got the back facing you. Go ahead and add adhesive to the triangle on the back. Make sure that this flap doesn't look like this. Make sure that it's where you can stick your finger inside. Close the back down. And voila, the card is done. Isn't that easy? And it's so cute. When people receive this card from you, they're going to think, oh man, they spent hours on that. Actuality, you spent maybe 10 minutes. So I hope you enjoyed seeing how to make this card. And it looks like my pictures are coming out a little blurry. I'm sorry. The paper that I used for this card, I cannot remember the name of the DSP, but it is in the fall catalog. I'm looking real quick to see the name. It was a fun DSP. It's called Snowflake Splendor. And the stamp set that I used is the Freezin Fun. And it also comes with the dies that will cut out the little figurines or the stamps from that set. So I hope you enjoyed seeing how to make this card. I also put on the little snowflakes from the, those are also in the fall catalog, and they're called adhesive back snowflakes. I'll have all of the items that I used to make this card on my blog, and all the products can be ordered through my online store at justdreamin.stampinup.net. Hope you have a Merry Christmas and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, and we'll see you soon.